Live.
Awesome.
Live on Friday morning. Accountants, bookkeepers, and business owners.
and wives doing laundry.
There's Dick Clark dies in the year we aren't supposed to have a New Year's Eve.
Oh.
Well played, Mayans. Well played. That's just wrong, Bruce. That's
I know it.
What's that?
I said, I know it's wrong, but it was funny.
It was funny. We're live on Google Plus.
Jeez.
Yeah, Rhonda.
Sorry.
You're making me nauseous there.
The camera, my son moved my camera and it's not placing right. Still not right, but oh well.
Tell him he's not allowed to move your camera anymore.
He's 15. I can't say anything else.
You pretty much said enough, haven't you?
Yeah, pretty much, huh? So I don't know if you guys heard the news.
What news is that?
But I won my 2012 blog competition.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
I haven't heard much. I'm on vacation.
Very good.
Oh, got to invite Adrian in. There you are. And then I got a couple of other people looking to join, apparently. William Reynolds Young should have been in the circle. I thought I added you. All right. Duly invited. Duly.
Everybody's in?
Yeah, we got two people who are in here trying to get in. I imagine I know Nancy said she cannot make it this week. I don't know what was going on with me the other day. I posted
Thursday.
But I just said tomorrow because I was thinking like it was Thursday because I was trying to rush to get the week done.
Yeah.
Get out of this week. It's been a tough week.
And I was rushing to try to figure out, okay, how can I make Thursday work and Friday work? And I'm going, what? Sure.
Yeah, well, you know, the funny thing about it, the flattering thing was a lot of people were like, okay, when? What time? Like, people obviously really wanted to be in there, which is cool. I appreciate that.
Right.
It's a lot better than people saying, screw you, I can't make it Thursday. What are you trying to do here?
Right.
Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning.
And also, Gina couldn't make it either. She said she would try.
Craziness. So, Bruce, I have a very serious question for you.
Dr. Pepper.
Are you going to Disneyland?
No.
But it's
But
tax
if I
time
do,
different.
I know where I'm coming to go visit and eat.
You know where you're coming to visit me? Where?
Your house.
My house? You're going to come and visit me?
He's going to
Cool.
come to your taxes. Again.
Ooh. Maybe not. Yeah.
So what's the serious question, sir?
The serious question is, it's a tax question, actually, and it's based on the conversation we were having earlier this week via email.
Okay.
How is it, first of all, before I even ask the serious question, I have a broader question for you. Now that it's tax season's over, I'm sure people have extensions to be sort of dealt with. But overall, doing people's tax returns, what did you see this year? Did you find that a lot of people owed money? Was it devastating? Or, like, what did you see? What picture did you get about the financial state of the country when you look at it through the eyeglasses of preparing people's tax returns this year?
I determined through this year's tax returns that a few more businesses had been started and money's a little more stable.
Really? Okay.
I'm just a tax return preparer. I'm not a financial analyst, so.
We're holding you to
I know,
that.
but I'm just saying, looking through that pair of glasses, though, so, I mean, were people, like, devastated? Were they like, oh, my God, I owe so much more this year than I did last year? Or, But it sounds like you think, from what you see, just doing people's tax returns, it looks like situations have improved on the whole for people.
If I can add something, as a client of Bruce's, I didn't have to pay that much more. I was excited.
Okay.
As a whole, the situation has gotten less grim than it has been in past years.
Okay, good. It's good to hear that. Okay, so now the tax-related question. I have an S corp.
Adrian, you'll know the answer to this, I'll bet.
I have an S corp, right? I also own a home, so I pay mortgage. I have a mortgage interest deduction. Okay. My net income from the S corp flows through to my personal return. The S corp doesn't pay taxes.
Right.
We're all clear on that. So, how is it beneficial to deduct, let's say, $10,000 of mortgage interest as a home office deduction for the business versus just deducting it on the personal tax return? Doesn't it net out the same, or does it?
If you run it through your 2106 in the 2% and the 25% that you mentioned, there's more to it than just your home mortgage deduction. There's your utilities, there's repairs, there's... Are you nodding your head, Adrian?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
There's so much more to add to it, and by looking at the numbers I was looking at, it would be more beneficial for you to do that.
So the benefit is that by taking the home office deduction, now it introduces the opportunity to take a bunch of other deductions together
Correct.
with that.
Correct.
That I would not otherwise be able to take on my personal return.
Exactly.
Even your window cleaning.
My windows are dirty.
Mine are too.
And your window cleaner's not doing their job.
I know.
I don't have a window cleaner.
We have to get a window cleaner.
Well,
Do you know any?
Cleaner in the group.
Just remember to give them a 10.99.
I know some, but it's expensive to clean windows. And you would
That's
think
why I don't
that
see your window anywhere
tax
now.
write-off of a 15-year-old kid could do it. Oh wait, we have to
do
keep.
clients come to your home?
Me? No.
Not
Very
even-
rare. For
But it does
insurance,
happen.
on a very rare occasion, for insurance reasons, I don't. I have one client who, frankly, is a little quirky to me, and she insists on coming with her big, huge computer, and she brings it here so I can do the taxes. And I only say it's quirky because it's unusual. Most people are just like, yeah, do it remotely. She's a wonderful person, don't get me wrong. But, you know, she just, for whatever reason, feels comfortable or more comfortable bringing her computer to me and having me do it. But if it got to the point where all kinds of people wanted to do that, I would have to stop it because I'm not insured for that, and I don't want to be. You know, my whole setup is really based on doing things remotely.
Well, what I want to do, since our emails bounce all the time, I'm going to drag my entire desktop over here,
There you
and
go.
I'm going to fly it out to California and come visit. But since
you know
I don't
what?
live there, I have to stay the night, too.
You know what? Well, first of all, you'll get to deduct the expense as a business expense, right? I can put you up in a hotel right around the corner from where I live. I'm right by the Burbank Airport. So,
Oh, no, Rhonda makes fantastic dinners.
Wow.
You're funny.
Yes.
I don't say I make them. That's what my mother-in-law lives across the street for.
I was going to say you're just very good at ordering in.
No, we actually do cook at home. Just depends on, well, let's just say that I have a family member, which is my mother-in-law, and we take turns cooking. Depends on what's going on for the day.
Gotcha.
But she's out of a job, so
What'd you fire her for?
I didn't fire her. She's a really good worker, but right now she is taking care of my son, or helping me.
So she's busy and has a job then.
Exactly. That's a full-time job, taking care of a kid who can't walk at all. So, anyways. But it is a beautiful day in Southern California.
It sure is.
It's been a beautiful week, actually.
I may
If
have,
your windows were less dirty, we could tell.
Yeah, I wish they were too.
Well, it's cloudy and 50 degrees here.
It's what?
Cloudy and 50 degrees here.
Oh, 50, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. You can keep that weather.
Steph?
70 and
Trying to
sunny
send
here.
it to Nancy.
I can see out the window.
My koi pond out there. There it is. See it?
Beautiful.
You can see the edge of the koi pond.
I started my garden last week. It's very exciting for me.
Cool.
So since we already threw one tough question out there, I'll ask my tough question too.
Okay.
I think it's less complicated of a situation. I think it's a pretty easy answer. What?
We need more complicated. Just kidding.
Well, I can make it complicated, but
nah.
Seth would have to fix it in the books once I screw it up. So
Ooh.
I don't think Seth would have any problem with that because he's the one getting paid.
Yeah, I get the bill for the time, so screw it up all you want.
Exactly the point. Okay, so I have a LLC and I have a DBA. They're both registered at different addresses. Don't ask me how I did that. And I have local taxes to file, obviously, which are late now. Let's not point that out. And I need to figure out where those local taxes are due.
Where is local?
Where or when?
Where? They're already due, I know that. But I have two different municipalities that I'm registered through. So the DBA is registered in one, and the LLC is registered in another.
Are they linked together? Does the LLC, is the DBA part of the LLC? Is it the LLC is doing business as something else?
So if you look at the business entity, the DBA is owned by the LLC and myself personally.
Okay, so that's the complication. It's the same ownership, but two different municipalities that you've filed in. It seems to me, and Bruce or Adrian would know this better than me probably, but it seems to me you'd have to. I had this situation come up with a client years ago. We actually just had to cancel one of them and refile. But Bruce, yeah. Adrian?
I think, I don't know. I mean, it is overcomplicated, but I think like your idea of cancelling one and refiling it together is probably a better deal. I think that's going to be less complex in the long term.
What about just modifying the registration to the correct address?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's essentially
same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah. But I think the only way to do that is to sort of kill it off and recreate it. Maybe you have to check with the municipality. I would go to the one that's sort of wrongly filed. So if you know, decide who wins, whether it's where the LLC is registered or the DBA is registered. It seems to me it'd probably be easier to cancel wherever the DBA is registered, but go to that registrar and say, hey, I made a mistake. This really should have been filed over here. What do I do? And let them tell you.
Yeah, it would be easier if I could cancel the DBA, but the LLC is somehow registered under my mailbox, which is obviously my mailing address. So that wouldn't be.
Registration is at the state level. You don't register the LLC locally, so it seems like you should just be able to change the address of the LLC in that case.
Yes.
What state are you in?
The state of confusion. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania.
But you're in. Wait. Why am I so confused about where you are? I thought you said you were in Portland last night, because then when you couldn't watch my video, I'm like, well, is he in another country?
No, I said I was in the state of confusion last night again, too.
For some reason, I thought you said Portland, Oregon. I don't know. You know, my head is in so many places.
And Wednesday, you thought it was Thursday, so.
I know. That's why I needed to just get out of this week. I needed this week to just be done. And I'm so grateful that it almost is.
Well, does your week end on Sunday, or do you start your week on Sunday?
I start my week on Wednesday, and then I ended on Thursday. And then I started all over again on Friday.
That's pretty complicated.
Yeah. So, Bruce, Adrian,
yeah.
A lot of extensions to follow up on now?
We've only got about 5, I think, on our books right now of the extensions. We got most of everything done.
I'll trade you.
Trade you? No, thanks. I've already started business development again. I'm looking for more clients. I just spent the this week visiting with all the new companies in the new office building we're in.
I don't see any pictures behind you.
No, but I changed my desk around, so this is a different wall.
A different wall.
I like that.
Will you go on each of the walls behind you and mark like A, B, C, so we know which wall we're looking at?
Yeah, I do have a picture up here. There you go. There's a picture. Yeah, it's just on a different wall. That's a different wall. Again.
So, guys, we have, according to my YouTube channel, 7 people watching live. So I'm going to invite people to post your questions.
Joseph, you're fairly quiet.
I am quiet. I'm new.
Welcome.
Joseph, who are you? What do you do? Who do you do it for?
I am Joseph Thiessen, and I am a bookkeeper for a ministry in Oklahoma City, nonprofit organization.
What city?
Oklahoma City.
I thought he said homeless.
I'm from Norman.
I thought you did too.
You're from Norman?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's cool here. I heard you say the temperature.
It's supposed to be 88 here today. Sorry, I didn't want to rub that
Well,
in, you guys.
let me fix that. I originated in Norman. Right now I'm in Missouri.
Okay. Got it.
I've just been corrected. It was Andrew who told me he was in Portland yesterday. See, I have my people, my places, things.
You don't know where you are, Seth.
I don't know where I am.
It's okay, Seth.
I think I'm
We're
in
here for you.
New Zealand right now.
We're here for you.
Well, at least for the time being, I know where my head's at, thanks to my webcam.
There
Ah.
you go.
Well, you're not in Houston, Texas, that's for sure. Not today.
Nope, and I'm not in Kansas,
Dorothy?
Dorothy. Kids today. So, Adrian, now the tax season's over, business development. How do you plan on going about developing that business?
I think the word Shanghaiing people. A big clever hit over the head.
You said you shank people?
Shanghaiing people.
Right.
No, we just opened this office here in this a new office, and so I'm spending my time meeting and greeting the businesses around me, which are all new. For some reason there's a lot of attorneys in this building, so I've been pushing our attorney services, so all our trust accounts, trust bookkeeping, and that sort of stuff. So I'm out there doing that. We have a new staff member here in our office, and he's busily away working on general ledgers by the looks of it. So I've got to keep people busy. So I'm out there. My social media stuff is picking up again now. So we made our Facebook page, which I said I was going to do. Just now, going to figure out how to populate it with interesting stuff. But
Do you have a blog that you write with?
yeah, on the website.
No, envelope.
Adrian, put the links in the chat.
No.
Post your links in the chat so people can see your stuff.
Oh, yeah.
No, Malcolm.
I gotta tell you, more and more I'm finding that with my new Twitter handle, the QuickBooks Answers handle, QB Answers, I am finding that I'm getting the best response by writing just short tweet-sized QuickBooks tips.
Okay.
No links, no videos, just a straight-up tip, and I get so many retweets, and of course it pushes to my Facebook page, and every day I get likes and comments. Much more of a response to those than I've ever gotten on all of my, tweets that have links to tutorial videos. And I think it's a sign of the fact that people don't really have the time to necessarily sit there and watch even a 6 or 10 minute video, but they'll comment or respond to a tweet that they can read in less than 30 seconds and say, oh wow, that's a great tip, And I've gotten some great responses. One of the persons replied to one of my tips yesterday saying, I've been desperately searching around QuickBooks trying to figure out how to do that, and you just helped me. It's little things like that that, are huge.
That's a good idea.
Hey, Seth, I really think that your idea that you came up with yesterday, and I hope that you're going to go through with, is that other group.
IT support?
Yeah, I mean, I actually was very fortunate to read one of your comments. I think somebody asked about that child safe program or something like that, and I've used a lot of them. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to comment on this. But then I noticed Lisa Mason's article, and she kind of got me thinking. And so I went in there and I checked out the program, and I was like, wow, didn't expect this, And she's totally willing to help me out and everything like that, which I may need, but you know, it's nice to be able to ask a simple question to a group and not have to feel like you're not knowing what you're doing. How about that?
Right. Well, and I'm finding the social network help group, even though it was originally put out for social network help, is turning into a bit of an IT support group, which I'm totally fine with. But the idea that I had, that I was posting about, was creating a separate group just, you know, for like nerds IT support, where it'd be the same thing. Obviously, the participants in the group, of course, it's free, it's on Facebook, could go in there and help each other out. And then what I would do is I would post links up there to plans where if people wanted additional help, if you wanted somebody like me to log in with you remotely, take over your computer and help you with something, you know, then obviously for a fee we could do that.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And I've got this guy, Andrew, the same one who commented earlier, who's sort of standing by, ready to take on some of that work, you know, that I wouldn't necessarily have all the time to do.
Right.
So, and I thought the idea of having a portal for something like that on a site like Facebook was actually pretty good, because that's where, you know, your average mom and pops are who might need that kind of IT support. I'm not looking at companies for this, because most companies, I think, have their IT plans situated already. But we're talking about your average mom and pop where the son doesn't have the patience to show them how to do what they need to learn how to do, and all they want to do is learn how to attach a photo that they took of their grandson to an email that they're going to send. Right. You know, and you know, then I have to figure out a fair pricing plan for stuff like that, where we log in and spend 15 minutes showing them how to do that. You know, or it's hey, you know what, my printer's down, I can't get a hold of my IT guy, but Seth has that group. Let me post a request in there. And, you know, my thing is I would have people like Andrew and others who are standing by pretty much around the clock, you know, ready to jump in whenever somebody has a request of some sort.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to post yesterday on a question, but I think it's more industry specific, and so that's why I didn't post it. I mean, I guess you never know, but...
Yeah, I would, because then there's also any time, like, I added people into the group specifically based on that question about parental controls.
Yeah, this is regarding GPS tracking on vehicles.
Right.
So that's why it's, you know, it was more industry specific, so I didn't want to put it. But then I noticed somebody put up there, you know, I think it was Lisa even, you know, does anybody work for Apple or something? And I have an Apple question too, of all things.
Don't buy one.
Oh, no, this is a iPhone that I'm talking about.
Again, don't buy one.
I love their phone, the iPhone. I have no problem.
I saw a picture of one blow up in somebody's hand. It was awful.
Well, they do. There's everything. Everything has.
But you should on forums like that. You should ask, because you never know what people know. I mean, iPhones, for instance, are endemic everywhere, so people, you know, are very clued into whatever the question was. You never know. Even my kids know more about it than I do.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing is I went and asked my 15-year-old, and he told me exactly what to do, but I have more questions that are a little more detailed that he can't ask me, and the fact that he has a big mouth and he'll mention to some employees, and I don't want that. So
it's not a question you want to ask on a live hangout.
Oh, no, I can ask on a hangout. I have no problem on here. And basically what it is since we're talking about it, I'm looking for some way to track my employees where they are. There's been some discrepancies of timing, especially recently this week, where the gentleman left at 11 o'clock to go to the Home Depot. And another employee told me that he didn't come back until 2 o'clock, and then got back at 2 and said, I'm going to lunch, and didn't get back till 3.
There's certainly ways of tracking, but most of it's software-based.
Yeah.
You know, so you're going to have to install, I mean, if it's company iPhones that they have, you could probably install something onto there. But if it's the truck or the vehicle that you want to track, then absolutely you can do that with software and transmitters. It's just the same as having one of those LoJack type things in the car.
Right.
But it's on all the time, and you can have that feed back to a PC.
Yeah.
So you can do that. I mean, it's not a...
Well, I own the iPhone, and I own the vehicle, so it's just that it was just like literally brought to my attention this week, and it may be a problem. You know, where does an employee go for that 3 hours? You know, it's just questionable.
So
You know, there's definitely an app on the iPhone. 'Cause I
There
work
is.
with a
It's called
construction
Find My.
company.
It's Find My
Yeah.
iPhone for sure. I know that works because that will locate your phone. The problem is I have to get his phone back, and he's really suspicious. It goes so much as he didn't want to have direct deposit because he doesn't want to know that the IRS can find him. That's what it literally came down to. And so if I ask to use his phone and tell him that I'm putting a tracking program on, he's gonna be really questioning, and I don't know legally what I can do, so I have to deal with that too. But since it's my phone and my vehicle, I would
It's your
think,
phone, your vehicle, and you're not the only company that does it. I mean, there's plenty of vehicles that are being tracked for all sorts of reasons. I mean, if you look at a UPS van, those UPS vans, everybody, that company knows where every single one are at any moment in time.
Right.
They're doing it because it helps with logistics.
Well, people want to know where all their product is, and I mean, yeah. I do. I want to make sure that it's on its way.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's something I'll have to deal with.
It's your Apple ID, though, isn't it? On the
phone? See, that's the problem is when I set up the phone, I don't remember if I set up an Apple ID. If I did, I can't find it currently, and I would need his phone to work on it. He's a very suspicious employee to begin with, and he doesn't want to be tracked. I mean, there's a lot of issues going on. He's going through a divorce, and so he literally thinks that everybody is trying to track him. I wonder why. So I'm looking into the iPhone. I know that Track My iPhone Apple has that loaded into the phone, so I'll deal with that. And there's also another solution that I could put on a vehicle, one of my suppliers or my vendors uses. Yeah. So I'm going to check in with them and see what they do, how they do it, what it costs, type of thing.
I would just install Glimpse and make them run it.
Make a what?
I would just install Glimpse and make them run it.
What's Glimpse? Tell us about that.
It's basically a program where you have to have them fired up before they left, and you can watch everywhere they go in real time on a map.
I don't have a Mac.
On a map.
Oh, map.
Map.
I said Mac.
Andrew, can you post a link or some information in the chat for everyone so they can go onto the web and find that? That was Andrew, by the way. His video's off, but he's with us, and he's the IT guy that I'm going to start having help me provide support to people, and he's great.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, so that's my dilemma. But it's not really an accounting thing, sorry.
No, that's okay. This is accounting and business.
I know.
It's okay. And speaking of that, don't ever hesitate to post questions like that in the social network help group or even the Accountants, Bookkeepers, and Business Owners Facebook group, because it's really all about just trying to find help for businesses that they need with stuff like this,
Right.
Because then what's going to happen is you're going to have to call me to figure out how to book it when you pay for it.
I will call Bruce.
What?
When I buy it.
Oh.
Which also reminds me, I do need to ask you how to book something to begin with, but that's okay.
I'm on vacation until Monday.
Okay, good thing I don't need an answer right now.
Oh, I'm working. Don't.
I know you are, because I sent you an email and you replied back to me, and I told you no hurry. And you replied quicker than you ever would.
And you're sitting in your desk in the office.
Yeah.
That's because he's not busy now.
That's okay. It's good to take a vacation.
Hey, Seth.
Yes, sir.
I'm a bit new to Hangouts, so Where
if
do
you
you
look
want
at
me
the
to-
top left, there's a button you can click on that says chat. It'll open up the chat, and then
Yeah.
you can paste links in there.
Got it.
So there it is, guys, glimpsecloud.com.
Nice.
My mind just went blank. I was trying to think of a funny story about tracking people.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
Is it?
who knew?
Sorry, William. Do you go by William?
William, whatever.
Will. Have you seen this page?
Yes.
Is that the page that caused your confusion in the first place?
No. I'm not even sure that it really even matters because the DBA is just an operating entity. Nothing goes through it in filing. There's no one hired to it. It just sits there.
Okay.
That's why I don't think it, means anything.
Now I remembered. This is oh, sorry, I thought you guys were done.
I'm done. I'm on vacation.
Look at that, he's packing up.
I had hired a bookkeeper a while back, and I tend to do this with new bookkeepers just to follow up on their work and make sure that, the time they say they spend is the time they actually spent working on the books. And especially if they're not experienced, a lot of even bookkeepers don't know this about QuickBooks, that you can actually run a report that shows the timestamp of every transaction posted. And being that I know my way around Excel pretty well, I had hired this bookkeeper. He sent me a bill for, I don't know, whatever it was, 4 hours of his time. And I ran a report on every transaction he posted, filtered and sorted by transaction posting date and time. And I exported that into Excel, and then I just wrote a simple formula that looked at the gaps in time between transactions posting. And so I didn't care if a minute or two went by, but, I would see like a 20-minute gap, and then I could say, all right, well, maybe he was thinking about something, But then when I saw, like, several 30-minute gaps, I actually called him on it. I questioned him on it. And the point was not that I was really worried that he wasn't actually spending the time legitimately. It was more just to put the message out there that I do watch for these things. And sure enough, he got back to me and explained that some of that time was time he was spending on the phone with me. And when I looked back, I realized the timing made sense. So it was just funny. But you talk about tracking people. My wife, when I told her that I did that, she said I was a bastard for doing that.
Well, the main reason we're doing it is that this guy got here at 6:55 in the morning, which is 5 minutes earlier than my really early guys get here, and they can't go into home until 8 o'clock anyways. So why was he here so early? And then he didn't get back until 6:30. Well, anything after 10 hours in a day is considered overtime. So now I've paid him overtime because he got there early and then didn't get back till late, but now he has this 3-hour plus gap. And so of course if he was gone, he was gone doing whatever he was doing. Now he's incurred overtime. Well, he's a $45 an hour guy.
Ouch.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just a pure waste of money on my part. And I'm trying to explain to my husband that if I wanted to just give away money, I could go down the street and give it to some homeless guy and get more out of that.
If you're giving out money, I'll take some.
Yeah, see? That's the thing is I have plenty of other locations to put my money. I just can't waste it.
Well, you know what? While he's there, have him clean your windows.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah.
At least I get something out of it.
You said this guy's paranoid, right?
Yeah.
If he's paranoid, this is what you got to do, and you'll save a lot of money. No tracking software needed. Just take the check, and in the memo line, write, "I'm watching you."
That'd be cool. That'd be awesome.
Or just draw a little pair of eyeballs on the memo line.
So you know what this causes me is it just causes drama in my job. And we're a small company. We're 5 people. I don't need drama. I got enough drama going on in my life that I don't need drama at work. So You know, the last thing I want to have to do is get rid of my lead guy, but there's been too much drama.
Do you think that maybe the others might be jealous? I didn't know.
Yeah, there are others that are.
Guy, so they're trying to like throw him under the bus.
It's possible, and it's possible that maybe it was exaggerated a little bit, and so I'm still taking that into consideration. But let's just say it wasn't 3 hours. Let's just say it was 2 hours. Even then, you can't go to Home Depot and spend 2 hours. I mean, not on work time.
But Rhonda, if you're going to do this and you want to track, you're going to have to track everybody.
No, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I only have 2 work vehicles
Right.
that I'm tracking. I only
Okay.
have two vehicles in the field.
Could you not say something like, you know, you want to do it so you can record the mileage easily, or something like that, so you know what.
Well, my
jobs,
husband's point
all
of
that sort of stuff.
view is that we want to track where our belongings are at. You know, I have lots of money on these trucks,
Right.
and I need to know where those are at.
So insurance purposes, etc., all those sort of things.
Yeah.
I mean, there's legitimate reasons that don't just turn around and say you want to sort of keep an eye on the employees. You know, so.
I just told Brad, my husband, I said, can't I just tell him I want to do it because I want to do it and it's my company and I'll do what I want to do? He's like, no, that's not going to go over too well.
That won't go over well.
Or just say, hey, you know what? I'm doing it because I don't trust you, and I think you're ripping us off.
What's wrong with honesty?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. But my husband said, no, you can't
Because
do it that way.
they might walk out the door and then you'll be really
Well,
stuck.
yeah, I mean, I guess that's a chance I have to take, but...
And then as he's walking out the door, you can say, hey, can I still track you?
By the way, give me my phone.
Yeah.
Anyways, but that's my dilemma. That's what I'll be working on. It's my
I'd always
problem.
just give him an Android, then he wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Give him a new phone.
Yeah. Well, I have the iPhone. I mean, it will track it, I think. Well, if it will find it.
Yeah, it'll find it. And it'll find it closely, but if you gave him, there's a program for Android you can run, and you would text a certain word to him, and he'd go, why are you sending me that? And all that time, it's sending you back GPS coordinates.
Nice. That he's at home with his wife that he shouldn't be. And anyways.
But that would be grounds for termination, and you'd have an excuse to get rid of him.
Well, that's the thing. I've already got one warning on him. You know, this is the sad thing is the beginning of the year he was given the truck to take home. So he took the truck home. But now all of a sudden he's getting a divorce and he's been living at his brother's, which is like 45 minutes away from here. And he's using my vehicle, using my gas card. I was like, okay, well, that's going to end. You need to bring the truck back daily.
I've never owned a business, but I would tell this dude, yeah, you got 1 week to fix this or you're out.
Well, and that was the issues. I told him, I said, he has another truck, but it hasn't been working in like 3 years. So I said, well, I'm going to give you a week. And then he came back to me and said, well, can I have 2 weeks? And I said, no, this isn't let's make a deal. So he asked for a week and a half. I said, fine, I'll give you a week and a half. If it's not back here by Wednesday, then we go further. And so now he brings the truck back daily. But, I mean, my gas bills were going from $1,200 to $1,700 for a month. And I just can't afford it anymore.
Wow.
I mean, he's got the life, dude. Seriously. And then you want to go and leave for 3 hours on me?
And there's
Okay,
so
you know what,
many
can I come
people
work for your
that
company?
take that job.
I mean, my husband is very understanding. I'm not, but it just amazes me.
On another note, I found my sharks a new home.
Your sharks?
Huh?
Yes.
You mean like the guys who collect your receivables for you?
No, not those guys.
Good morning, Amber.
Good morning,
Hello,
Amber.
Amber.
Happy Friday. It's Friday 4/2012.
That's right, it's 420.
It's Happy Friday.
Everybody's watching Grateful Dead videos today.
Bruce, did you get the brownies out?
Yes.
Sounds like, oh.
Yay!
Yeah. Brownies for breakfast.
Brownies for
Hey.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
And just
It's
for
a
the
brownie kind of day.
just for the very public record, we do not condone the use of drugs here at the Accountants, Bookkeepers, and Business Owners Hangout.
Oh, sorry.
No, I just have a sweet tooth.
I
Right.
was going to say, they're just full of sugar.
Is that your legal notice?
I know. I'm saying Happy Friday.
That's my official legal disclaimer.
Well, good morning. How fitting. I actually am reconciling right now. Isn't that wonderful? And Seth, I
sorry.
have a question. Maybe you can help me.
Yay! Questions.
I'm sure you can help me, actually. So I'm so smart sometimes, and I just feel like QuickBooks, I should just be able to do whatever I want to in it, you know?
Entitlement.
Yeah, if you're sad.
Yeah, not so much. Well, my bookkeeper reconciled, let me look at this discrepancy report. She reconciled 1, 2, 3, 4 statements, and she used the wrong date for deposit amount, so she used 2012 instead of 2011. So and then the transactions were deleted, and so now I'm going through to reconcile, but I'm off. So is it possible to undo something that's been deleted?
You can't undo something that's been deleted, but you can certainly repost the transaction. And the other thing you can do is if you click on banking and then reconcile, there's an option that says undo last reconciliation. And you can back those up to the last one that's got the right clean previous balance. That's the best way to do it. That's the cleanest way. Do that.
Let's see. Yeah, I wasn't sure if. Okay, that might just be it, but it's still off, you know. Even on the previous one, the beginning balance is off.
Right, keep going back. So do it again and again until you get to a place where your beginning balance matches that of that month's bank statement. And then you can repost your deposits, and then you should be able to reconcile pretty quickly, you know, getting back caught up.
Cool. Yay, thank you, as always.
You're very welcome.
I thought I remember hearing something somewhere that, like, if you have an incorrect entry, you should, instead of deleting it, you should reverse it, I guess. Is that?
It depends on the situation, because if it's from a prior period, yes. If you have your books closed for last year and you realize that there's a mistake on a transaction from last year, then you should never delete it or even void it. You should post an entry in the current year, because if you change a transaction from a closed period, you're going to piss Bruce off when he goes to file your tax return, because your books are not going to match your tax return anymore.
We're not worried about Bruce.
Keep it clean.
So that's true. You should never change something from a closed period. But if you're in the current period, it's fine. If you're voiding a check that you've written that has a check number tied to it, then you really don't want to delete it. You want to void it so you have a record of why there's a gap in a check sequence. So that's also important.
And then there's people, me, who, like, pick up the wrong checkbook, and then I go back and forth sometimes.
People
You know,
like
I go
you drive me
26
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm expecting to see the checks clear in basically number order. Obviously, some people wait before they cash their checks, so you see some clear out of order. But I've had clients like you over the years where the check numbers are just all over the place and there's no rhyme or reason. But I'll tell you what's worse. I had a client years ago when I was first starting out consulting, really just doing bookkeeping, who, when they wrote checks in real life, they physically handwrote their checks. They would go into QuickBooks and they would record the amount rounded off to the nearest dollar.
What?
Oh no.
And they thought, well, it's close enough. It's close. You know, it's just like 20 cents here and 30 cents here. And I said, how about I almost kick the crap out of you?
So there's a good story about that. I was running Amazon seller reports. And Amazon, whenever you run a seller report, it rounds everything to the nearest dollar inside Excel.
Well, that can be fixed, though. If it's,
Well, yeah, but it's so what happened is the person who was running the reports for me sent it, and I was like, this is like several dollars off, and like one was 1 cent off. And she's like, no big deal, it's just a few dollars off. And I was like, when I send it to my bookkeeper, they're going to be not happy. The penny doesn't matter to me, but whatever. So we ran all the reports and expanded out with this.
Right. Right. By the way, there is still a lot of echo, so if you guys have headsets, put them on if you can.
Can't believe there's no one asking questions on YouTube today.
I know it's
Oh,
quiet.
yes, there
watching.
are. Oh, for those watching, I will put glimpse in the video description. Oh, never mind.
Is there anybody watching on YouTube?
Yeah, there's
There
not.
are-
That's where I
It's been
found
going
you
from
guys
4 to
first.
11 to 7.
6.
But no, nobody's asking. It's cool, actually. I learned this morning that as the host of the Hangout, I can pop out the live comments feed. So I have that on my other screen now. If somebody posts a question, I'll see it right away, which is pretty cool.
Oh. Oh, because you're the organizer.
Because I'm the man.
Let's not go that far.
It's all about Bruce. I mean,
I was gonna. That's what I was gonna say.
Wake up.
sorry. That's how much I think of Bruce. It's pretty sad, isn't it?
Bruce Almighty.
Quiet today.
I don't
think-
do anything until January now.
I think about
Yeah,
all the
hibernate.
time. So that didn't sound good, did it?
I didn't hear what you
Oh, I
said.
didn't hear it. What did
I
you
said
say?
I think about Bruce all the time.
Well, who's Bruce?
Bruce is right there at the bottom of your screen, 4 in from the left. Bruce, make some noise so you show up on the big screen.
Hi.
Why do I want to do that?
Bruce is in the house.
Everything I do is, what would Bruce do?
Dun, 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 dun,
That's awesome. Sounds like you could start a movement.
Bruce Almighty.
Who was doing the Mission Impossible thing?
That was me.
Who's me?
That's what I'm doing later today, watching all 4 of those movies with Tom Cruise.
Really?
I have to confess, I've never seen any of them.
So wait a minute.
Neither
So
have
Bruce,
I. That's why I'm watching all 4 of them.
so Bruce, you like Tom Cruise,
Oh.
huh?
Keep it clean, guys. And Bruce is just dying. He wants to. What is that?
Stop. Hold it closer, Bruce.
Oh, that's Mario Brothers.
Brothers.
Does anyone else use Mint?
Somebody's got.
I have used Mint.
I mean, I use it, but I don't use it for any intensive purpose.
Yeah, it sends me an email all the time, and I delete them all the time.
That's what I was just looking at. I had a notification.
It doesn't do me any good.
I
like
would like
French
to clarify something. I am an office administrator by title, not an official bookkeeper, but I do the bookkeeping.
Okay.
And so
I'm,
I'm actually visiting with my CPA today. And,
Why?
because I
Why
need
on a
help.
Friday?
Why on a Friday? Because I need him. We're actually moving from a church accounting software that's produced locally into QuickBooks. And yeah, and it's a huge learning curve for me. And so in our old accounting system, we had revenue codes, and the revenue codes were the way that you enter donations and the deposit information, and the revenue codes dictated whether they were tax deductible or not. And this is a huge learning curve because QuickBooks, apparently, that's handled in the chart of accounts. Is that correct?
Sorry, I got distracted. Would you mind repeating the last part of the question?
The chart, when you create the chart of accounts, you set whether or not in the tax line mapping if it's tax deductible.
Well, first of all, that's only important if you're going to use TurboTax to do your tax returns, which hopefully you don't. And if you do, and since you're working for a church, I'll pray for you.
Thank you. Well, we're a nonprofit,
Oh,
so
Seth, you had me for a minute. I was just captivated.
well, and that's why I'm talking to my
Carry on,
CPA
carry
today.
on.
Right. Now,
Because
the tax line mapping is only for when you're using TurboTax so it can link to QuickBooks and get the information and populate a tax return. That's the only reason the tax line mapping is ever used. But the answer to your question is yes, you're correct. When you establish an account on the chart of accounts, you have to, if you want to use it, you choose within that drop-down during the account setup dialog which line on the tax return it should go to. And that
Okay.
means also identifying if it's an expense or if it's an asset, and within each of those major group categories, what type. Because there's, like, if you hit a meals line, there's a 50% deductible meals, and then there's a 100% deductible. So
Sure.
that's what you have to be aware of when you're doing that, if you're going to do that.
Okay. Well, he had mentioned
There's an
something
80
about
too,
tax.
so
What's that?
there's an 80% meals deduction too. So
There is?
All right.
yeah.
For what?
Nobody here needs to worry about it. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, but now you have me intrigued. When do I get an 80% meals deduction?
Come on, Bruce, tell us.
It's a trucking thing.
Oh, really? Truckers get to deduct 80% because they're on the road?
80 to 100, yeah.
I drive a truck.
I know, seriously.
No, big
Not that sort
truck.
of truck.
I do drive a truck.
My
is a
truck
big
is
truck.
really big. My truck is
Rhonda, you're only 4
this
feet
big.
tall. They're all big to you.
No, seriously. I drive a big SUV. Hey, that was not a nice short joke.
Nice.
That wasn't a nice short joke.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, kids today. So, like 18-wheelers, obviously, we're talking about.
The over-the-road guys, yes.
But if you
Yeah.
put the truck next to my little Honda, it'll be a big truck.
You know what really sucks about that, Bruce, is most of those guys are just eating fast food anyway, so it's like 80% of nothing.
Expensive, though. By the way, I drive a nice big SUV, Bruce.
I know what you drive.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And my husband is 6'3".
I know that too.
Really?
That's
Yep.
tax deductible.
Brad is 6'3". Brad is 6'3", and I'm 4'8".
Wow.
So you well compensated for your height.
Yeah, let's just say that I use a phone book for everything.
Clean, Brewski.
Except for when it's
Does he pick you up?
Yeah.
So that's why they still have phone books?
I've never really I don't use the phone book for what it's used for. But you know what? Actually, they don't even send them to me anymore. Maybe they realize that I don't use them.
Bad Bruce. Bad Bruce.
It's okay, Bruce. It's Friday, and you're on vacation.
Yes, I'm on vacation.
Right. By the way, Andrew, to respond to your comment in the chat, if I mute people, I can't unmute them. It's sort of like a bad mark if I mute somebody. That's why I don't do it.
Oh, how fun.
Oh, I didn't know that.
When we were doing mine, I muted it.
You
and
muted
so
us, but we could still
I was
hear
able
you.
to
and then
unmute
I
it
had
as soon as I
right.
sat back down.
Because what happened was you muted us, right? When your boss came in the office, you were quick on the draw with that. But we could still hear you at first. I actually had to mute you.
That's funny.
And you didn't hear what we were all saying about you.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm sure. I can go watch it,
You have to teach her how to turn the video off, too.
Yeah, hit the red X.
No, there's a spot right next to the microphone to shut video off for a second.
Oh.
Yeah, so your screen goes black. Oh, Rhonda's got a guest.
Yes, I do. Say hi, baby.
Hi.
You wanted up.
I was going to bring Hercules in here this morning. I forgot to.
Oh, cute.
Is that like a little Yorkie?
Miniature Schnauzer mix.
Bruce, did you know she had a miniature Schnauzer mix?
Is that deductible?
Is it
Is that a
deductible?
deduction?
No.
A dependent.
Yeah, dependent.
Nice try.
I have a cat too, and 2 other dogs if I can write them off too.
You know what? Pets cost more than kids. I think they should be tax deductible.
I agree.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
I was reading some tax deductible funnies this week about cows. There are certain areas, certain places, if you have cows on your land, you can deduct the cows. And it's like there were some builders, and this is what we thought about you, Rhonda. People building houses.
I'm going to
Whilst
buy a
they're building
cow.
houses, they put cows on the land.
Nice.
Okay, well, wait a minute. If my wife is extremely heavy set, can I count her as a cow?
Oh, God.
Here you go, Rhonda.
Oh,
Keep it clean. That was...
You know what? I can only say that because my wife is tiny.
Tiny now.
I sent you a 1040 for your dog, Rhonda.
Okay, thank you. Can only imagine. Oh my gosh. Nice.
But you know what? Then you'll have to apply for a tax ID for the dog.
That's okay.
Oh, brilliant.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh, Bruce, I'm so reposting this.
You want this at a PDF?
Yes.
Sure. Oh,
Yeah, that's awesome.
that is awesome. I love it.
I
Why
can have
haven't
fun
you
with this.
posted this already, Bruce? What's wrong with you? You're too
I'm a
busy
cat
actually
person. I'm
taking
allergic to
taxes.
dogs.
Oh no.
The bottom one is the PDF.
Oh, I have some sad news.
Hmm?
Oh, my son has to get another cast.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, I'm so upset. I didn't get to take him this morning, and he went to his post-op, and she sent me a picture, and now he has to get another cast. Oh, that just means more work for me. So much for my weekend.
I'll mail you some brownies.
Oh, please. I'm gonna need them. I don't know if I'm gonna. I'm not gonna. I can't have sugar, but I can make them with Splenda. That's really kind of crappy. Oh, that's a bad word too.
No, that's crappy.
Crappy? A bad word?
Well, it is
Definitely.
if your
A minute
son.
there, I thought Molly was here.
No, it is if your son will repeat it over and over and over again.
That's what I was about. That's what I said. I said you're definitely a mother.
Oh.
Did you see the videos that Lisa Mason posted in the social network?
I did the poopy one. Oh my gosh.
The ones that her kids apparently stumbled on.
I loved it. I was crying yesterday.
Yeah,
I can't find it. Wait, was it in our group or was it in social network help?
It was in Network Help, because I saw it.
Let's see. I think it
Oh,
was.
you know what? It was part of a bigger thread, though.
Yeah.
It was the. Does anyone work for? Was it the anyone work for Apple Thread? No.
No, it was. I was before that.
It was the parental
Oh no, it was the
controls.
parental controls.
Yeah.
There it is. I found it. I'll top post it by commenting on it.
Oh yeah.
I must
saw
have
it
missed
and I
that.
couldn't stop laughing for
Oh, I
a
know.
while.
There, the potty training was one.
Yeah, that one.
And then here, you know what? I'll post a link to the thread right in here in the chat, so you can all go see it. I love that I've now learned how to. I know how to link directly to a comment now. Here, I'm posting it in the chat. This was hysterical.
I know you guys may miss me next week, and I'm really sorry. But I'm gonna go to Stagecoach.
Bye, Amber.
I'm going to run. I'll join back in if I have another question. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks.
Happy Friday.
just come and
Happy
hang out with us.
2012. Have a good one.
Bye.
Oh.
Did anyone know that there's a tax deduction for mustache type stuff?
Mustache type stuff?
Like seriously, for
I would think only
grooming.
if you're in the entertainment business and your appearance is critical to the way you make a living.
It is. This is
It
entertaining.
doesn't say that. From what I'm
'Cause
reading.
I know I had a client in the entertainment business
What are you
who would
reading?
deduct her gym memberships as professional maintenance.
Let me pull it up again because I read it earlier. Let me see if I can find it again.
You leave that on Anne's desk.
It said a $250 tax deduction for any grooming needed for mustaches for men.
That's a joke, surely.
I hope so.
Where are
What about-
you reading this?
What about mustaches for women? Is that if I
I'm not
grow
gonna-
one, can I write it off?
You can get that waxed. Either that or you can use that bleach stuff that makes it blonde so nobody can see it until they get up close.
That's
And then they-
gross. That's disgusting. Ugh. This is wrong.
And that's when guys start talking about you and saying, well, she's good from afar, but far from good.
Oh my goodness.
Well, kids, our time is just about up for today.
Wow. I would say this is very effective. I
I just
appreciate
posted
everybody.
the link to that in the chat about the mustache thing.
I gotta go find my 1099 or 1999.
Ronnie, it
1041.
says men and women with facial hair, by the way.
Oh, really? Awesome.
So you're good.
Great.
Click on his link. Now, I mean, I'm
When
going
was
to
this
post
posted? 1st of April?
February 28th. This is a very interesting article. Now, my comment's going to be is that if women with facial hair have bigger problems to worry about than getting a tax deduction.
Yeah. What about their therapy services?
That's not deductible, is it, Bruce?
Therapy?
Can I deduct my therapy sessions on the basis that it keeps me sane so I don't kill my clients?
No.
But it's medical.
But the
Is it a
basis
medical
is all wrong.
Well, they don't need to know that.
Wait, is therapy a qualified medical expense on my personal return?
Should
It
Yes.
is?
It is?
Yes.
Yes.
God, I just... Oh my God, I wish I would have known that.
Uh-oh.
I won't get into it, but it's a lot.
Well, there you go. Bruce will do the
You
amendment.
can amend up to 3 years and still get refunds.
Yep. Those therapists are making lots of money out of you.
Jeez.
Get some of it back.
They bill,
it's-
mine
it's-
bills $270 every time I go.
Yeah.
How long do you go for? How long
An
is the
hour.
session? That's ridiculous. I pay $100
Now,
an
that's
hour.
not what I pay. I
Yeah,
only
mine's
pay
a
40.
per-
Oh, but he bills the insurance?
He bills insurance $270, or she does $270, and then I pay 40.
So it's
Criminal.
it's $310.
Huh?
It's $310 per session.
$270 plus your 40.
Yeah, sorry, that's right.
What in the
40
world?
for a copay, though. That's a lot.
Well, it's
I hope you walk out of his office walking on a cloud every week.
I do as long as I get my prescription refilled.
Nice.
Before I got married, I used to date a therapist, so I get it for free.
Oh.
Oh God.
And what, now she charges you extra?
No, now she's in a different country, thank goodness.
That complicates the relationship now, because then you always have to ask you, are you speaking to me as my therapist or as my significant
Right.
other?
Seriously.
Hey, but believe me, before when I first met this gal, she gave me the test to see if I wasn't some murderer or some crazy
Oh my
person.
God.
I passed.
Really?
Yes.
Kidding
Good
me?
for you.
I passed with flying colours, thank goodness.
Oh, I would have had to play with that.
I would have wanted a copy of the test results so I could show it to my next girlfriend.
I would have wanted to. I would have wanted taken it a couple times just to different people.
Oh my goodness.
I would have
Yeah.
played with it.
Seriously.
Anyway.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna go. I have to deal with my son. It was a good day.
All right, all of you have an absolutely fantastic day.
And Andrew, this mustache thing is still in debating purposes.
Is it?
He'll never go anywhere.
Well, I'm not a tax guy, so I just found it interesting.
Nice.
This is what our tax dollars are going for. Our congressmen are trying to get something like this passed. That's great.
Kind of sad.
Well, they got to do something up there in Washington.
Wait, can I ask a question real quick before we close out here?
Sure.
Since therapy is deductible, I have about $12,000 annual for therapists because it's 100 per session per week, something like that. And so does that mean next year's taxes, I can just drop that on the tax deduction?
Well, I mean, it's going to be limited to the, 7.9 next year, Adrian?
I pass. I don't know. I have to ask Anne. She's not here today.
I think it's 7.9%. But yeah, anything over that 7.9% of your income, yeah.
I might have to talk to Seth about this, and then I'll talk to maybe you about it as well.
Seth will probably give you my email address.
Just gotta.
Would that be okay?
Oh, I don't have a problem with it. I love tax stuff.
Okay, cool. Well, then I will drop you a line. I'll get it from Seth.
All right, then. Well, everybody enjoy your
Remember,
week.
Knowledge is power. Call Nerd Enterprises.
1866.
I don't remember.
I love it. Say it. Finish it.
I don't remember it.
Oh my god.
Call me right now for information about private training. 866-945-8070.
Nice.
Knowledge
Okay,
is
guys,
power.
I gotta go.
Email Nerd Enterprises. I can do that. Okay,
Knowledge is
bye,
power.
Ron.
Make an impact by learning more. Bye.
Okay, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Adrian.
Bye.